Hi, it's Liz Snedden here, just showing you guys how to reset a graphics calculator ready for your exams. So the first thing we want to do is we want to actually hit the reset, so we've got to clear the memories. So here's the list of instructions, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm now just going to flick across to the calculator and show you on the calculator. So we want to first of all turn on our calculator, and yours will be similar to this. We want to move down until we can find the systems button. So you can see here I've got my systems, yours might be in a different place. So I'm going to go into systems and press the execute button to get into there. Now I can see down here F5 is my reset, so I'm going to press the F5 button. Then I want to go to F2, which is my main memories. So I'm going to press the F2 button here. And then it asks you, are you sure you want to do it? And we're going to say yes, and by pressing the F1 button. So there we go, F1, press that. And sometimes this takes a second for it to do, and then you wait, and this is the screen that you leave showing to your exam supervisor or teacher to prove that you have cleared the memory. So you just leave that sitting there until they've checked your calculator. So that's our first step. So now I can exit back out of that, and if I click into my menu button, that will go back to my menus, and then I can show you the next piece. So let me show you then this. Okay, so we've exited out it, so I've got some different instructions on the next pages depending on if you're doing a level 1, 2 or 3 exam and what topics you're covering and what might need to be set up. So we'll start by looking at if you are doing, for example, geometric reasoning or anything that uses angles and degrees. What we need to do is we need to go and change it. So it defaults, when we reset, it defaults back to radian mode. So we need to put it into degree mode. So let's go through that process. So I am going to go into my run menu. So coming back to the run menu here and execute to get into there. And what I want to do now is you can see above this menu button in yellow, it's written setup. So it's the same color as my shift button. So I'm going to go shift and then I'm going to press the menu button, and that takes me to a list of some setups here. Now I can find the angle down the bottom here, so I'm just going to use my arrow keys and I'm going to go down until I get to the angle, and you can see there it says radian. So across the bottom here I've got 3 options: degrees, radians and gradient, which we won't use much at school. So we want to change this to degrees, so we're going to press F1 for degrees, and that has now changed that. So if I now exit back out of there, I'm in my run mode and I can do any angles now in degrees correctly. So that's if we need those. Then if I am wanting to do anything using a normal distribution, I need to, when the calculator is reset, there is one setting that we need to change to be able to do our calculations as we like for our normal distribution. So let's have a look at what we're going to do. So we are going to into our menu, and we're going to go across until our statistics menu, stat, and execute, get into there. Now I've got across the bottom here, I want to go into my distributions one here. So I'm going to press F5 for distributions. Norm, I'm going to press F1, and I'm just going to go into my NCD mode, so pressing F2. Now this isn't showing it as you would see, but what you would see is you'll have a screen here where it says list. So it'll have a menu item there that says list, and you need to press F2 to change that into variable. Okay, because I think even this calculator, yeah, even my inverse normal doesn't have that same setting. So this is just a slightly older version of the calculator. Okay, so that is using the normal distribution. The last one is if we are using a table in the statistics mode. So particularly for students doing distributions, when you're doing multiple distributions, this is a useful one, so discrete random variables and tables and things like that. So these are our instructions, and let's go and have a little look. So I'm going to just exit back out of there. So I'm in my statistics menu, and I now want to go to the calculate option. So when I say using the table, it means that I'm putting data into here. So for example, I'm typing in 1, 2, 3, 4, and I might put in some probabilities into there, etc. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. Oh, and it doesn't like me. There we go. So I'm going to go to calculate here, and I'm going to press F2. Now across the side there, you can see it's got the setup. So I'm going to press F6. And now I want you to notice it's the second line here. So I'm going to go down to the second line. At the moment, that just says 1. And this is referring to which columns of the table we use. We need to make the second column saying list 2. So I'm going to press this list button and press F2. And it says which number, and I want to use list 2. And then I'm going to press execute. So that now says list 1 and list 2. So when I press exit, you'll notice there at the top of the table, the first column is called list 1, the second column is called list 2. So that's what I was doing in my setup here, is I was making sure for the one variable, it's referring to the correct columns to be able to do any calculations that we need. Okay, and thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this is useful.